Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hadn't planned on doing a video today, and I've been receiving some messages since I started the channel, predominantly from women, older women in their 60s. A lot of women that just are alone, actually, and scared. And I had one in particular whose husband has just asked her for a divorce, and she's 67. And she's literally paralyzed with fear. And I just feel like the gray divorce, and what that means is people that are 50 and up, when both couples are 50 and up, it's called a gray divorce. And they are so on the rise right now. And it just leaves those people like 50 and up, you're literally like at the back nine of your life. If you follow golf, the back nine holes, that's what it feels like. And it's scary being at the back nine of your life, because you're going into your retirement years. You're going into the years where you're probably going to be an empty nester. The kids have either gone off to school, or maybe they finished school and they're starting their own lives and they're in a different city, and it's not the time for a lot of people. It can have the opposite effect, but generally it's not the time that people envisioned that they would be alone. And it can be scary, especially if perhaps you were a couple where one person stayed home and now you've got to live on a pension, or you have to find a job, or you have to sell your home, and where are you going to live and what can you afford? And it is a really scary time. I get it. So my second divorce happened when I was 50. So I've been divorced twice. The first divorce, I got divorced from my first husband, who's the father of all three of my children. And that was in my early 30s. And then I remarried a few years later. And then I got divorced just approaching 50. And so now I've been divorced for going on 8 years. I'm going to be 58 in June. Where are we? It's February. So I'm going to be 58 in June. So in 3 more months, February, March, 4 more months, I'm going to be 58. Math is not my best subject. I speak a lot of languages, but I cannot add 2 and 2. Anyway, in 4 months, I'm going to be 58. And so I have been alone for the past 8 years. I have not dated. I have not been in a relationship. I have not cohabitated with anyone. I've not had roommates. So I've lived alone. So after the matrimonial home was sold, I had enough money that I could buy my own house. And so my house is actually 2,400 square feet. It's a little bit more than what I need, but I love my home. The one positive about being on your own and getting divorced is that I had the opportunity to create my new normal and to create the home that felt really good, the home that is cozy, and the home that is exactly as I want it. And it's just a home that I had always envisioned. I've got a lot of pets. I've got 2 dogs in here, sometimes 3 when my daughter brings her dog over, and I've got 2 cats. And I feel like it was not the great time to get the house that I really wanted and loved, because my entire house is it's neutrals, it's whites, and it's very not conducive to pets. Here, I'll show you my bed. That's my color scheme. Whites, neutrals, just really anything that feels like zen and calming is what I gravitate to. And so that is one great thing. I love my house. I love my home. And because I love my home so much, I don't mind spending time alone, and I don't mind spending time in my home. Whereas before, I remember being, unhappy in that marriage. I just wanted to be out of the house as much as possible. Well, now I actually want to be in my house as much as possible. And I was going to say I've turned into an introvert, but I think I've always been an introvert at my core. I'm an introvert. And when I'm out, socializing, I am very social and I do love to be around people, but I only like it to a certain extent. Like I love, and I know some people find this hard to believe because I can be the life of the party. I know I have that in me. I know I can be the life of the party. I know I can be fun and vivacious and engaging. But at my core, like really at my core, I love my alone time. I love my solitude. I love being on my own. I don't feel lonely ever. I just feel so calm and so in my element being home. I really do. And I wish you could all feel that as well if you are going through this time of a breakup or a divorce and you have to spend time alone. And maybe you are not looking forward to that, because I do know that one of the biggest fears of getting a divorce is the fear of being alone. Now, for me, that was never a fear. For me, it was always financial. That was my biggest fear. Can I take care of myself on my own? Because I did leave my marriage without getting any support, and I hadn't been working for 10 years. So I had to figure out a way to support myself. And I did. I did that, you guys. I did. Now, does that mean that I don't worry about it still, especially in this volatile economy that we're in? No, it is a constant worry in terms of, is the business going to be okay? Or, I'm getting older, and are we going to be able to still generate enough income to sustain myself? And like I said, I've got a 2,400 square foot home. Now there's barely a mortgage. It's not even a mortgage, actually. It's a line of credit that I took on the home. There's barely anything. My payments are less than, I think they're like $500 a month, because I don't owe a lot on my home. And I only took that because I wanted to have extra money for incidentals, renovations, whatever I wanted to do to the house. And so I took a little bit of a line of credit. So I do have that. And so, but there's taxes and there's insurance and then there's repairs and then there's lawn. I hire a company to do my lawn, and there's, bills that you need to pay, and incidentals. I'm going to need a new car. And so when you're on your own, you have nobody to count on. That can be a little bit of a worry. However, what I have come to find now as I'm 58 years old, and when I look back on my life, every time I've worried about money for some weird, miraculous way, it always just seems to come. It always seems to work itself out when I worry about money. And so that is a con to being alone. The loneliness, I don't feel it. I really don't. Am I at a point in my life where it would be nice now to meet someone more for like companionship or traveling or just to go for dinner? Yeah, it would be. And I'm not closed off to a relationship by any means. I just now know myself so well and know what my deal breakers are and know what my non-negotiables are and know what I want and what I don't want. And so I just am not at a point in my life where I want to settle anymore. I really don't. And I'm not looking for perfection. People will say, well, you're never going to find anybody if you're, so picky. It's not that I'm picky. It's not. First of all, I don't put myself out there at all. And so unless they're coming to knock on my door, it's not happening. And so I don't really put myself out there. I don't do online dating. I don't actively pursue dating. I'm not intentional about it. And so am I going to be alone forever? Maybe I will be. And that's okay too. Would I like to have someone, a companion to do things with? Yeah, I would, and that would be nice and that would be the ideal, but it doesn't consume me in order to find that. And there's ways, if you do feel lonely, there's ways to combat that. I do love being home and I love being in my space and I love being, my little, I don't know, what's equivalent to like a man's bat cave? What's equivalent to that? That's how I consider my home. It's just cozy and warm and pretty and comfortable, and I love it, and I love being in it. And so if I did it and I was feeling lonely, I would maybe find something that you like to do, like a hobby, and join a club or join, I don't know. I have a friend that just joined the running room, and she's in her late 50s and she's a runner. I'm definitely not a runner. So she just did that and just met someone. So joined the gym, bowling, I don't know. God, I'm saying things that probably older people would do, but anything, that pottery class, cooking class, anything just that gets you out. And it's not necessarily just to meet someone, like, a partner. It's just to get out, meet new people, just get out from behind your four walls, because they can close in on you. If you have a personality that you need, that human connection, and we all need it. I just feel like I need it less now than I ever did before. I don't know why. I'm just so comfortable in my skin and comfortable embracing my solitude. But you can do things like joining clubs or certain activities that will get you out of the house, and even just going for a walk. Just go for a walk. I'm looking straight out my window and there's a beautiful lake. That's another thing. I got to move, buy a house on the lake. It's literally across the street from the lake. Like, there's my house, street, lake. And so I take walks there daily, just doing things that get you out from behind these four walls that can close in on you. It's manageable. Like, I've been living alone for 8 years. It's been manageable with my house. I do my own garbage. I do my own repairs. I YouTube everything. I have fixed toilet seats. I have fixed doorknobs. I have hooked up my washer and dryer. I have fixed my lights that go out in the fridge and replaced them. I have, I've screwed back my deck boards that were popping up. So I learned how to use a power washer, and it is actually really gratifying when you learn to do those things and you do them on your own. So I have not really found it hard, or in terms of having a home that I manage on my own. Sometimes it would be nice, especially when I get overwhelmed with work and stresses in my life. Right now, I've talked about this before, I'm in the sandwich period where we have, excuse me, woman, I'm dying. Where we have the sandwich generation, where we have parents that we worry about, and then we have friends that are getting ill and terminal illnesses at our own age, in our 50s, 60s, and then we have kids that we still worry about because just the state of the economy and the state of the world. And so we're sort of stuck there, and then that's a lot. So sometimes when I find that I get overwhelmed with looking after sick parents or having sick friends and family members, sometimes I wish I could just have somebody by my side so I don't have to brave this world alone, or that they can maybe just take over and say to me, don't worry about it, I got it. You just do what you got to do and I'll hold down the fort. Do I miss that? Yes, I do. Now, I do have a son that stays with me periodically when he's in the country. He travels a lot. He's a conservationist, so he works a lot with conservation organizations. So he's all over the world all the time. And when he gets time off, he does come to Canada and he'll stay with me. He has a house that he bought in his 20s, I think, mid to late 20s. But he's renting it out actually to his sister because he's never in the country. And so he rents it to his sister. So when he comes back home or to Canada, he'll come and stay with me. And he's a big help when he's around. But that's not all the time. In fact, that's like hardly ever, to be honest. And so I manage it all on my own. And there's going to come a time that I may want to downsize. Truth be told, my goal, my dream, I'm going to say it right here, right now. I'm putting it out to the universe. My dream is by the time I'm 60, so that's literally in 2 years, I would love to live half time in Portugal and half of the time here in Canada, which means I'm probably going to have to sell the house that I love and love it, but I'm not like tied to it. I'm not attached to it. I had to learn to let go of the attachment when I was getting my divorce. If you guys know my story, for those of you that are new here, I had to let go of a lot of material things, including vacation properties and luxury cars. I came from a very privileged, financially privileged marriage, and I had to let go of the attachment to a lot of that stuff, which was fine. I have not missed it. I've been actually super happy living more simplistic life. But where was I going with this? This is what happens when you're 58. What am I doing here? What am I talking about? What was I talking about? No, seriously, like I don't even know what I was talking about. I totally lost my train of thought. I don't know. Oh, my dream is to go and live in Portugal, stay here half the time. And I would love to be able to do that. And that's going to entail having to definitely having to sell this house, maybe having something small, like maybe a little condo or something turnkey, where I can come back and stay here for 6 months. I don't want to lose, I'm Portuguese citizen, but I'm also a Canadian citizen. So I don't want to lose my Canadian residency. And I think you can only be gone for 6 months of the year. And so I would be okay to do that too. And then go and live in Portugal, which is my happy place, has been my happy place for as long as I can remember. And I have family there, lots of family there. I just feel so at home there. I feel so at peace there. I love the simplicity of the lifestyle. I'm from this little village in the north of Portugal with cows and chickens and roosters. And that is what I love, and that is what I gravitate to. And so I look forward to maybe spending 6 months out of the year there. Am I going to be able to do it? I think so. I think I am. Unfortunately, these last 2 years have been a little bit of a struggle on the business. I'm a home stager, interior decorator. And the market has not been great. I follow the real estate market. I work with realtors. And so when the market, it fluctuates quite a bit. So it hasn't been great, but I'm still hoping that I can do that. And that is my dream. That is what's on my vision board is Portugal and a little stone house. Well, I've got a stone house like in the countryside, but then I also have a beach house on the coast. So I don't know which I'm going to gravitate to, but that would be my dream. That's what I want to do. And so being single and being on your own, you can have those aspirations to do whatever you want because you don't have to check with anyone else, or you don't have to ensure that that's their dream and that they're okay with that. And maybe I want to go to Portugal, but they want to go to, I don't know, Florida or whatever. And so that is one great thing about being single, is that you can just do what you want. Now I have lots of friends, I have lots of family, and I have my children that I'm obsessed with, that I can also always have in my life and invite them there or come here and stay with them. And so that is, I do look forward to that. So I'm not at the stage in my life where I wish I had someone to quote unquote grow old with. It would be nice, but I don't bank on it, and nor do I obsess about it. I am just happy to exist, to live, to be kind to everyone, you never know when your last day is going to be here. And so I just try to live simply, be kind, make everyone that I encounter, make their day better. I want people to be able to, after having an interaction with me, to be able to walk away feeling better about themselves than they did before we ever interacted. Really, that is my goal. That is why I started this channel. That is why I started this journey 8 years ago of rebuilding a kick-ass life. I wrote my book, Rising Up, to help you guys that are watching to help you feel inspired, encouraged, motivated, or just feel like you're not alone. There are so many people my age right now and older, like I said at the beginning of the video, that are going through this gray divorce and that are feeling lost, feeling alone, feeling desperate, feeling isolated, feeling scared. And I'm here to say that I've been now on this journey for 8 years, and I have grown so much in the last 8 years. And what I mean by that is, I know it sounds like such a cliche, oh, I've grown, but I have. I've grown in terms of feeling just really comfortable in my skin, and feeling like I'm living authentically, like I'm living my true life. I am true to myself through and through. I do what I want, or I don't do what I want. I've learned how to say no more often. I've learned how to stand in my truth. I've learned how to just be, or choose. I've just chosen to be happy. Isn't there like a great philosopher that said you can look at the universe as like a bad universe or a good universe, or I don't know, I'm totally butchering it, but something like that. And I choose to look at the universe like, or at the world like it's a good world and there's good people. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's fucking hard because of what's going on right now in the world. It is not easy to have that attitude. And so you have to force yourself and find the good in people, because there is still a lot of good. And I get a lot of that from you guys. And Instagram, where I have 12,000 followers, that is my community. That is where I go to get also inspired, to get the love, to get the support. I love that community. If you're not part of my Instagram community at Mama Moynes or at Emily Moynes, I would encourage you to join that, because sometimes we have conversations there with 12,000 of us, and the comments that we all leave help each other. It's not just for me to read, it's for everybody else to read and chime in and help or give suggestions. And so I love the community that I've created, and I'm trying to create the same thing here now on YouTube, to help, just to help inspire, encourage, and help you feel like you're not alone. And I've been now here for, like I said, 8 years since my divorce, and have been alone, have been on my own, have been navigating life completely on my own, 100%, and bearing the weight of all of the burdens on my shoulders. I mean, my kids do have a dad, but it's, isn't it always the mom they come to? Always. I mean, I've instilled that in them. I want my kids to run to me rather than running from me. I've always said that. But sometimes, it can be a lot. And, but you guys, I've gotten through it. I have pushed through it. The good, the bad, the ugly, I've pushed through it. I am happy. I've got amazing friends. I've got amazing family, and I lean on them. And I know I can pick up my phone at any time of the day or night if I needed to. And somebody, if not all of them, would be by my side. And it's reciprocal. It's reciprocated. You don't need a shit ton of friends. You don't need quantity. You just need quality. And as we get older, it is more about the quality than it is the quantity. When I was younger, in my 20s, I had hundreds of friends. I can probably count like really, really tight friends that really know me and know me to my core, maybe 5. I've got lots of acquaintances, but like really good friends. And I'm happy with that. And so there you go. If you're going through divorce or if you're breaking up and you are looking down the pipeline of being alone, it's okay. You're going to be okay. I am telling you, it's going to be okay. There's going to be days that are definitely going to be harder than others. There's going to be days that you might not even want to just feel like getting out of bed. There's going to be days that, I don't know, you might lose your job. You might get fired. You might have, a great, loss. And this too shall pass. You will be okay. You will get through it. It is not all bad. I am here to say I love my life. It is peaceful. It is freedom. It is living life on my own terms. It is living life where I get to do what I want, when I want, however I want. It is life where I wake up in the morning and I know there's not going to be any stress coming from maybe a potential partner. I can just wake up, go downstairs. It's peaceful. It's quiet, apart from my dogs and my cats all wanting to be fed. I grab my coffee and I just sit in silence and just enjoy. And then I just go about my day and I do whatever I want. And so I hope the same for you. Thanks, guys. I hope that helped. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye.